Hello, and welcome to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry, Instagram, and Steam as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog, illknitwithyou.blogspot.com. You can find the group on Ravelry, I'll Knit With You, or you can email me, illknitwithyou@gmail.com. I think I nailed that one. Hi, how are all my owls and my yous? It has been forever, and I hate that. I hate waiting so long between podcasts, but I have just been exhausted. I don't know how else to describe it. I've just been wiped out by the world a little bit. Sometimes when winter hits, you just can't get the energy up to do anything, and I feel like it wasn't even cold. I just felt zapped all the time, and like I didn't want to get in front of a camera. I didn't feel like I looked energized. I just looked dull. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I just felt uncamera worthy, I guess. But it's been too long, you guys. It's been way too long. And even though it's been way too long, I just realized that I put this in the one thing down in my pile. Hold on. The person who won this lovely skein still has not claimed it. So if you haven't watched last podcast, go watch last podcast. And if you heard your name when I said you won this lovely skein of yarn, send me a PM on Ravelry so I can get this to you. Still up for grabs. Well, not up for grabs, you know what I'm saying. If I don't hear from you by February, then that will go back into the prize pile for a second time. You guys, it's gorgeous yarn. I don't know why no one's claiming it. Anyway, so let's move on to blather. Enough of that. So, got a notebook. So got a lot of stuff to talk about, right? The election happened, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. My family went to Chattanooga for a second time because we didn't get to do a lot of the touristy stuff we wanted to do the first time. And then after we came back, Chattanooga was on fire. And that's just the saddest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. And it's crazy that we were there when there was burn notices. Like, don't burn anything and don't do this because we're having a really dry season. And then it caught on fire. I don't know, it's really it bothered my family a lot just because, like, that's just really surreal. When Katrina hit New Orleans, I had actually just been there for a high school choir tour, and like 2 weeks later, Katrina hit. And so this is the second time that like a disaster has destroyed or changed an area that I was just at. It's really weird. It's hard to see those pictures on TV of places that you just were at. So, but before we left for the trip, the last time what I did is I got in the car with my parents who live close to me. We rode down, picked up my brother and sister-in-law, and then drove down because they live 3 hours south of us. This time, my parents went down a few days before us, and then I picked up my brother and sister myself. But my sister was in work longer that day, so my brother and I hung out for the day before we left to go to Chattanooga. And we went by Bliss Yarns in Nashville, Tennessee, because that's where they live. And guess who was selling yarn there, you guys? Miss Babs was having a trunk show. What? Normally, and I mean, I like Bliss Yarns, but I usually go to a House of Yarn. But because of where we're picking up my sister-in-law, that doesn't work out. And so I bought this little tiny skein. It's not quite a mini skein. It's still 133 yards, so it's not super tiny. It's 1.3 ounces. And I also bought a rather large skein from this, which this is all that's left. So you're going to see some fantastic FOs out of this. This is Kira from Miss Babs in the Volcanic Eruption colorway. So keep an eye out for that information coming up shortly. So it was a really delightful way to start the trip, although I didn't have it skied up or caked up, so I couldn't really knit with it on the trip anyway. I already had knits with me. And then Thanksgiving happened, and that was fantastic. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Very belatedly so. And right after Thanksgiving, Ravelry changed how they do the wish lists. It used to be that you had to have something in your queue for it to be on your wish list, and now you can do wish lists to your favorites, which is awesome. And I've been really underutilizing the favorites function and the fact that there's bundles. So I went through my queue, and I now have a 1-page queue, you guys. 1 page. It's flipping crazy. And so, it's flipping crazy. So I went through all of that. I got rid of some older patterns that I put on there when I first started knitting that I still haven't made, so I'm probably never going to make. you know how I KumLari'd all my stuff this summer? I KumLari'd my queue, which made me pretty happy. So everything on my wish list is actually stuff that I want. Because there's been a couple of times where I realized that someone had bought me something that I don't even remember putting on my wish list because it happened so long ago. But it's still something I'm excited to see, and I think I've made most of those things. But you know, sometimes you forget what you've got in there. So it was nice to clean that all out. So really been enjoying that. My Christmas was good. Thanks for asking. I reorganized my room a lot. There's a large shelf to my right that was on the other side of the room by my TV, so now everything just looks more open. It's really nice. And I went ahead and organized my yarn by weight. Before, it was kind of just in these 2 big boxes. It was all just kind of crammed in there. It worked, but it wasn't great. And now I have sweater quantities in a drawer. I have fingering weight yarn in a box. I've got Sport Decay in a box. And then worsted bulky in a box. So it's really nice. So now when I want yarn, I know exactly where to go for it. It's pretty great. I got a Gleaner for Christmas. Have you guys seen this Gleaner thing? It's kind of incredible. I got to try one out at SSK, and basically, you know how your sweaters get pills on them? It just takes those right off. It's incredible. I'll put a link in the show notes. I got one for Christmas, so obviously this is not like a paid advertisement, but I would say you'll get one. I gleaned some of my mom's sweaters at Christmas. I haven't actually gleaned my sweaters yet because I have to take the time, but I've gleaned other stuff, like I've gleaned their couch and my mom's sweaters and stuff like that, so it's been fun. But now, some disappointing news. When it comes to my yarn diet, I failed and I succeeded all at once. That's the weird thing about the yarn diet. I got 232 points, but I gained 4.97 kilograms or 10.96 pounds. That is not a yarn diet. When you gain 10 pounds of yarn, that's obscene. So hopefully this year I'm going to do better. There is a new 2017 yarn diet in the group. You can go find that. I added weight to all of them. That's something you always have now. And I also added distance because I found that like weight's kind of a misnomer sometimes, and it's nice to know, have I knit as far? If I knit the distance that I bought, so if you buy 10 yards of yarn, have you knit 20 yards of yarn? Like that's how I want to look at it. And I think that would help. That's how I need to see it because that works for me. But we still have the point system, and the point system is a great way to do it. We also have the weight system, and now we also have the distance system. So whichever way works for you. I realize that a yarn diet is a really scary word, but for me this is more like yarn control. Like, don't let it get out of hand. It got out of hand last year. I don't even know how. I made up the stupid yarn diet, and we still got out of hand. So hopefully this year, yarn control will be a thing. So that's what I'm going for. I'm not sure how many points I have. I should have written that down, how far I am, but I've only got like 2 projects in there right now. I need to fill out my stuff. We'll get there. We'll get there. So I have some goals for this year, and one of them is to at least be positive in my distance for my yarn. So if I looked it up, like maybe 100 yards ahead. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. I would like to get rid of 1 box of yarn. Now, I realize I have it sorted by kind, but if I can knit a sweater, if I can knit a sweater or 2, I don't know, we'll see. I can clear out a whole drawer of sweater quantity yarn because it takes a lot of space. And I can get rid of a box and put it in a drawer. And I'd rather have them in drawers where moths can't get to them, or wasps, which is one reason I didn't podcast, because my room that I podcast in became infested. Well, not infested, but there was like at least 2 or 3 wasps in here every day that we would then kill. And we had 2 or 3 wasps the next day as well. It was terrifying because the place where I podcast is also my bedroom, and I had to sleep in here, and there was wasps all the time. But the wasps were on the side of the room that I podcast in, and not the side of the room that I sleep in. It was the worst thing ever. But that time has passed. I haven't seen a wasp in a month. Knock on wood. You know. So I'd like to get down 1 box. I'd like to do positive yardage, and I would like to knit 1 square a day on my brioche memories, which I will show you when we get to whips, because I'm in the middle of a square right now. I'm actually doing pretty good on that goal, so but we'll get there. I'm not there yet. There was something else I was going to tell you guys in Blather. I don't remember what it is. So I failed my owl. Failed it. I spun up my art bat. I spun up a quarter of my contrast yarn, and then I never spun again. That's not the time I stopped podcasting because of wasps. So hopefully I will get back in the groove of that. Because I had already started this yarn, this cannot count for my next owl, which is fine. I still intend to finish it, just not right this very minute. So I had to propose a new owl, which I will talk about at the end, because that's where we're going to go back to having a Harry Potter House Kept segment, because I like having that. I feel like people who watch, who play, it's a nice time for us to all talk about stuff. And if you don't watch, you don't really want to hear about it. So I'll talk about that later. So we did a Christmas present swap at my fiber group, which was really cool. The way we did it is we packaged up about $20 worth of non-yarn, non-fiber is what it was supposed to be. Like knitting tools, cool knitting things that you found. Like some people gave out mugs that looked like they were knitted and stuff like that. I mean, they had like the, it was etched into the ceramics, not like actual felted mugs. That'd be super gross. So anyway, I got a pattern minder with the boards that are magnetic with the like knit pixels, but I had one in the past and I ended up giving it away because I don't use it because I went digital. So I traded someone who got fiber for their fiber because, heaven help me, I can never have enough fiber in the entire world. So I have this beautiful fiber. I don't know what it is, but it's lovely. It smells good. I'm excited about it. Someone said they thought it was alpaca, but not the person. No one said who brought it, so we don't know for sure. Mystery. But I'm excited about it. Also, some of my non-yarn goals. I want to knit. Yes, my non-yarn goals include knitting. No, I want to play one game a month. This month, I played Bioshock, and I already finished it because I kind of started in December. But the whole reason I said I'm on Steam in the intro when I was like, Evil Twin 2 on Ravelry, Instagram, and Steam is because if you want to be one of my Steam friends, be a Steam friend. Steam is a program that you can run computer games out of. So, or buy them through kind of thing. So I played Bioshock 1. It was real scary, but it was real good. I have the rest of the Bioshock series for my Mac, but you can't get Bioshock 1 on the Mac, even though I bought it. So I went ahead and bought it for my PlayStation, which is fine. I'm also reading House of Leaves, which is dense. It's a dense book. It's really good. It's real crazy so far. I don't even know how to describe this book to you or the plot to you because it's very different. It's kind of a thriller mystery right now. It's also funny. And there's a bit, it's on the Wikipedia, it says it's romance. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you that it is. I'm like not that far into it, you can see. But this is my January reading. I think that was everything. If I remember something else, I'll copy it in. You know how I edit stuff. I'm going to edit it in. Okay, woes and woes. First off, let's do my, well, you know, it's not a sad woe. I failed my owl. I also failed my broom. And for that, I was knitting, I knit the taboo shawl. The taboo was too small. So I started another shawl, but there was just no way I was getting it done in time. And I've worked on this a little bit since then, but it just got backburnered super hard and not done. So this is the Papa Freya. It is by Giselle Beyer. I'm knitting it on a size 6 on Juniper Moon Finley in bright yellow. And that's exactly what it is. It looks like it's going to be beautiful, but it's also still not very far. I should end up using this entire skein pretty much, but I still have quite a bit left. This is not going to get worked on again until after term, because in the Harry Potter House Club term, if you already started it, you don't really get as many points for it. So I really just did this for myself, and I'm not going to lie, I really want to participate and finish the Knit Girls, what do they call that, Stash Dash? I want to do Stash Dash hard, and so I may work on this some more so it's more ready for Stash Dash, but I will be Stash Dashing pretty hard. That's one of the things. Now, to my woe. I saw this pattern. So everyone's doing those Bergalongs. I'm not hosting a Bergalong, where you knit something from Melanie Berg. But I went and looked. She's got some very lovely patterns. The one that caught my eye was Chasing Butterflies. I saw this pattern and I was like, oh yes. Yes, I need that. That's exactly the kind of cardigan I want to make right now. And I picked this yarn out for it. Can you see this? This is super variegated. What do you knit a patterned cardigan out of? Super variegated yarn? No, not ever. Not even a little bit. But this is Set Phasers to Stun, and I'm watching Star Trek this year. It's kind of one of my resolutions. And so I really wanted to make something out of this. It is not going to be this shawl, I'll tell you that much. I have 3 skeins of this. So I have over 1,000 yards. And I'd love to make it into a shawl because look how pretty this knits up. It knits up. It's kind of hard to see. Let me put some of it together for you. It knits up really pretty. It looks like spaghetti. I get that. But if you want to see some more on my project page, you can see it closer up. I went ahead and pulled this off the needles because I'm not gonna be doing it. But I like all the variegation. It's really pretty, even though it's a little bit mind-numbing. Like, here, I'll look at the back of it. It's a little easier to hold out, but I really like it. I do, and it's kind of crazy. So I'm either going to find a good pattern for this, or I'm going to weave with it. It'd make a beautiful scarf. And I want to do a plaid with a blue. So it'd be, 4 rows of this, 4 rows of blue, and we would just make it plaid. And I think it would work. But I also have 3 skeins of this, so that seems like a lot. I also have yarn. It's a DK weight. If you've got an idea, let me know what it is. Because I would love to knit this into something beautiful. It's in my stash. You can see how much I've got. I want it to be something. It's Western Sky Knits. It's a DK, Willow DK, Set Phases to Sun. And if I need more of it, Eat Sleep Knit still has a bunch of skeins of these, but yarn died 2017, so I didn't order any, because for one, this is not the right yarn for this pattern, and I'm okay with that. So the yarn for chasing butterflies that I will be using is the 3 Irish Girls Springvale DK in the Geneva colorway. I had originally bought this for the Jenny cardigan, but I would much rather have the Chasing Butterflies cardigan. Much rather. The Jenny cardigan is great. I realize everyone wants to make one. I don't like the lacy back because I feel like I have to wear a coordinating tank top. I hate coordinating. Why do I want to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to. This will be one solid color. I mean, it's a little bit tonal. It's got some darker grays in there and stuff like that. I will alternate every other row because when I bought this, I was told by Eat Sleep Knit, who's very serious about their color matching, that some of the skeins are a little bit lighter and some of them are darker. So I will be alternating so we don't get weird patchiness. I think this would be great for the Chasing Butterflies. It'll be great. It'll look good. I'll be happy with it. My other yarn is so bright and ridiculous, and I want to make it into something that I can wear all the time. Now, if I had a sweater made out of this or a cardigan made out of this, would I ever wear it? I don't know. I don't know. It'd be a good... I should have done this in my breathing space. I'm just going to put it... I'm going to stop talking about it. It's over there. This is going to be my new Chasing Butterflies. I'm going to propose this as a broom, which is a Harry Potter thing. Still working on that. I proposed it one way, didn't quite fly, so we'll have to adjust my proposal. That's fine. This is what's going to be. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. My other woe is the copycat CC beanies. Have you seen these hats? They are everywhere. In fact, I have some in my phone, so you'll be seeing one soon. Anyway, so it's a copycat CC beanie that's by, who wrote that pattern? That was by Emily Ingrid. And she actually complimented one of the photos I'm going to show you, which is pretty awesome. When a designer compliments your pattern, or your FO. So, this is for my mom, and this is in the Knit Picks Calypso Heather. I'm sorry, the Knit Picks will be Andy's Calypso Heather. This is just the brim, I really haven't gone that far on it. So, not very excited, but hat's got to start somewhere. So, my last woe that I have to show you, sorry, I do have one more, is my Brioche Memories. So what is Brioche Memories? Brioche Memories is another stinking blanket, because that's what I needed. I'm not already doing a blanket square blanket, a hex sweat blanket, and a married square blanket. No, I definitely need one more blanket. I'm in the middle of a square, so that's why it's a woe, not a FO. So here's my Brioche Memories so far. And all of these yarns, all of these yarns are things that I feel like I've got a connection with. So, like this one, I knit my sister-in-law and me a pair of socks. This yarn is from a trip. I bought this, I believe, in Colorado. This yarn that's going up the middle here, this will go up the middle of the entire blanket. This is the Color Wheel yarn, which I have more information about on my project page, that I won from the Fiber Town podcast. This is some Millens that I bought, but I also made a little baby Milo with it. This yarn is part of a hat that you're going to see my photos. This yarn is one of the first yarns I bought from Eat Sleep Knit. It's the Zombie Barbecue, which I kept hearing all about at the time. And the other thing that's different about these yarns and any of my other blankets is that these are all in my stash. And by that I mean that, you know, when you do a swap or whatever, sometimes you bring home the yarn, and because it went in grams and you're really not sure what the dye is, it kind of just goes in a bag or it goes in a box or a container of some kind. And you get your squares, but you're not really sure how much yardage is in that blanket. It's just kind of in there. This blanket, I'm going to know how much is in there because I'm measuring it before I knit and after I knit. And all of these yarns are from full skeins that I had in my stash. Now, I'm cool with doing stuff that I've gotten in trades. But the other thing is it's supposed to be a memory. And so what do I remember? Stuff that I've made. It's kind of nice. I don't know, I like it. So I'm going to try and do a square for every day. Now, I'm not going to do a square a day because, as you'll hear in my defeated foes, I hate doing square a day because I like doing more and more of the same thing. So right now, I have 7 squares. I'm 1 square behind because I'm recording this on the 8th. So not bad. But if I wanted to, I can knit 3 more squares tonight. And then I just want to be ahead of the days of January. So 31, I believe. I want to have more than 31 or more squares by the end of the month. And I'm keeping a little checklist in my bullet journal so I'll know where I'm at. Which is pretty cool. I don't know. It makes me happy. So that's the whole point, and that's what I like. So I'm doing a Zombies Barbecue square right now. The rest of the squares are in my project page, and they're very easy to find because there's only like 7 squares so far. Now, I'm excited to put my 2 Miss Babs, leftover from my brother's hats, and this little bit in there. I just haven't gotten there yet. Those are my woes. Not too bad. Let's go to some defeated foes. Alright, so this winter, it was like a thing to do these advent calendars, which I was not up to speed. Like, I've heard of an advent calendar, thank you very much, but I always forget about them until like December 5th. So I did not buy any advent calendars ahead of time. I tried to do the knit a square a day thing. I did for like the first 10 days. But my problem is that when I knit 1 square, I want to make another square. I don't want to stop. So I preloaded some squares, and then I didn't make any more squares. So anyway, my blanket has evened out a lot. So before it was really jaggedy all over the place. Now I have an edge here. Well, I don't really have quite the edge I used to have. I do have an edge here, though. So I have a flat edge on my blanket. This thing looks ridiculous. But a lot of the ones across the bottom here, this area, are new for this knit along. So for the advent, I know what I'll do. I'm going to hold it up, and then I'm going to pause this. I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to pause the video, and I will have drawn all over the new ones. Because I can do that, because I'm amazing and smart. And you guys are amazing and smart, too. Just in case you're wondering. So here's my blanket right now. And here are the squares that I did for the December advent calendar thing. I didn't quite make it to Christmas, not really close, but I still had a lot of fun, you know, adding a few squares, getting closer to my goal of having a blanket. So this is the hat that got complimented. Complimented? What is wrong with me? This is the Copycat CC Beanie, and it looks like those hats that you're seeing everywhere, where it's got kind of the ridges, right? It's a free pattern by Emily Ingrid on Ravelry. It's really on her blog. This was some Freya hand paints in the ombre sock in the Aloha colorway. And it has a rolled brim. So it's actually this really, really dark blue, but then turns almost bright into turquoise. But look how cute this hat is, you guys. And I ran out of hat before I got to the yellow, and I was really excited about the yellow, so I made the yellow a pom-pom. Worth it. And I think this hat looks amazing on me. And it's right when it's by my face, it reminds me of my blue hair because it's really nice and blue. Look at this hat, you guys. It's awesome. But I didn't just make one of these hats. Oh no. I've been making these hats. So here's some pictures of my brother and my sister-in-law wearing these hats. I made the teal one out of Cascade 220 Lake Chelon Heather. It took 139 yards. The brown one is out of Miss Crosby's Hat Box, held double, and the s'mores colorway. It was 304 yards. And then mine is at a fingering weight, held double, with a pom-pom is 404 yards. So, but just worsted weight yarn will get you about 139 yards, which is pretty nice for a hat. And they're really great hats. They're really great. So I really enjoy those. I've also been making these seed stitch gals. This is a pattern that I wrote myself, so it's the only thing that's in my designer page. But all it is just, I mean, there's no secret to it. It's a free pattern. You do 10 to 12 rows of ribbing. Then you do, I've been doing 27 because I had some people request longer middle sections. 27 rows of seed stitch. I don't really like seed stitch. Some people hate purling. I don't hate purling. So, and then 12 more rows of knit. And the reason that I'm making these is because my HR rep at work saw me wearing something very similar to this out of a scratchier yarn. And she thought it was really cute, and so I let her try it on. And I was like, you know what, if you like it, just keep it. I mean, I don't wear this that often. It's totally fine. And she wore it one night, and she was like, you're right, that is the scratchiest yarn ever. Can you make me a softer one? And I said, these take me about 3 hours, so yeah, I can make you one. And then, of course, she wanted one for her sister. She's paying for that one. It's actually this one right here. $15. Not bad, right? And then I made one for a girl I was dog sitting because she left me a Christmas present, so I left her a Christmas present. I don't know. I was dog sitting her dog, not dog sitting her. That'd be weird. But this goes over her face. I can keep all of this warm right here. Doesn't that sound nice? But it's tighter than a lot of cowls, so the softness of the yarn is a big deal. And what I did was I used Knit Picks Mighty Stitch because it's not really wool, so it's not going to be scratchy. It's acrylic. I used Knit Picks Mighty Stitch. This is the pomegranate. I also did, as you can see, Ivy and Gulfstream. Held double on size 10.5s. Turned out really, really great for me. I really like this pattern. I realized I wrote it so that it's obvious that I like this pattern, but this worked out great for some quick knits, you know. Now my nose is itching from all these fibers floating around. Okay. There's a couple things I can't show you, even like an example of, so here they are. This is what I made out of the Miss Fabs Kiara Volcanic Eruption. The first one is a 1x1 ribbed hat. I held a double, and I knit them on I knit it on US 6s. It took me about 233 yards, I think. The second hat is a sock head slouch hat. I did this on US 3s. This pattern is by Kelly McClure. And it took 224 yards. And I don't think it's as cute. My brother liked that it was not as tight as the other one, but he also didn't ever take a picture in it, so I think he's wearing the other one more. So those are the two hats I made out of that yarn. I think they turned out really great. I really like that colorway. It's really fun. So I have one great big FO to show you that I'm very excited about. Because even though I failed my owl and my broom, I did finish the Nanny Swimo National Knit Sweater in a month. And I did the breathing space because I wanted to. And it's wonderful. It fits really well, except that the neck is way too big. I don't know why my neck is so dang big, but it's really, really big. It sits on my shoulders like this. So I'm going to go back and pick up these stitches and knit just a little bit more and decrease a little bit so it'll go in. Because I like my neck to sit about just where this one's sitting. See how it's like a normal neckline and not showing off my tank top and bra straps? Because I really like that. I have plenty more of this yarn. I've got almost an entire skein left. And I even have the alternate yarn too. So I've got plenty left to do whatever I want with it. I'll definitely be making a better collar. But I'm going to wait until Stash Dash to add that collar in. Or at least to finish that collar off. I may go ahead and pick up the stitches and figure out what I need to do. This is going to be one of my Stash Dash projects, you guys. Stash Dash hard this year. This is 1,404 yards. The yellow yarn is Malabrigo yarn in the sock in their ochre colorway. And the variegated yarn is Northbound Knitting Superwash Merino Nylon in the Nebula colorway. I use US 3s and US 4s. This is the Breathing Space by Vera Valmaki, and it's gorgeous. I was worried about how well you'd be able to differentiate between the yellow and the variegated yarn, and then I realized that I really like it, so it doesn't matter if you can tell, because I think it's amazing. I was very happy with it. So I liked that. That's one of my favorite FOs that I've made. I've worn it a ton of times. When I made it out of superwash yarn, so I put it in the washing machine. I'm like an idiot, I put it in the dryer too, because some of my sweaters are dryable, and they look fine afterwards. This one shrunk up a little bit, so I hand washed it the next time, and it completely returned to shape. It was totally fine, normal length, everything was good. So I really like this yarn. It's very forgiving, and I appreciate that because I'm a little bit of a dunce sometimes. It happens. I do have a mustache for you. I adore anything that Cece designs. Cece's Java Pearl. I haven't ever knit anything that she's designed that I haven't liked. That's a very true story. I don't always pick up all of her patterns, but I'll pick them up when I'm ready to make something. And her Coffee with Cece book was incredible. They're making a second one. I'm not sure if it's out yet or not. I've not been paying as much attention this time. But she did a Battlestar Galactica sock kit. And I love Battlestar Galactica, and I actually had just started watching it when she announced it, and then I hemmed and hawed over pre-ordering, and then I was like, listen, this is a Battlestar Galactica sock. And it's got some gorgeous designing on it. So I was like, yes, I will be buying this sock after all. So I got the kit. It came with a bag. It came with yarn just for this. This is Third Vault yarns in the Vortex sock and the colorway Defenders of the Fleet. It is 80% superwash blue face Leicester and 20% nylon. It's lovely. It also came with a cool stitch marker. It's got the lobster claw, so I can clip it wherever I want. A progress keeper. A badge that says I could be a Cylon. I could be, you guys. I could be a Cylon. And then also a fantastic laser etched keychain that says Battlestar Galactica. And it's kind of to see in this back, but I don't want to undo it and be loud. So that is awesome. So I very much like this. I don't know when I'm going to make them since I've had it this whole time. I still haven't knit them up. But sometime this year, Battlestar Galactica socks. I may wait till summer because I feel like summer is sock time. That just makes sense to me. So, I'm cool with that. So, those are all my big things to tell you about. If you want to stick around and hear about my owl that I've proposed and I've gotten approved, so I will be spinning this, feel free to stick around. So, my Harry Potter knit and crochet house cup nerds, or people who just like hearing about it. I am once again a Gryffindor. I am on the badge team, and I am a graphics, I want to say beater for Quidditch, which means that I make the badges, little avatar-sized things, for everyone for each round they complete. So we just did round 1. It was a speed round, and I actually knit this hat for it, because I did this hat in one dang day, because I was really excited about making it. And so this is only a 3-day knitting speed run. And so I will tag people and say, hey, listen, you did this thing, you did this picture, good for you. Which I'm pretty excited about because I like cheering people on, so that's fun. But to get to my owl, hold on. I go, this is my list. I want to make sure I tell you everything right. So, first off, I'll be spinning, so I'll be telling you where I got the fiber from, how much it is, all that sort of stuff. When my fiber group, my fiber guild, went to, we went to Indiana to some fiber festival last year. The year before, because I forgot everything. It had a funny name, and I think the Fat Squirrel goes there some years. I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I bought some of this there, which is pretty cool. Because I'm trying to spin my fiber by oldest to newest, so I can get some of that older stuff out of there. Because the newer stuff I get, I don't feel like I'm allowed to spin because I haven't spun the first set of stuff. I still have stuff for Maria San Maria that I'm spinning, so I try to balance it out. But honestly, my spinning wheel is not getting as much love as it once was, and I need to get back to it because I really do like spinning. But I feel like whenever I spin, I have to binge spin. I don't do like the whole 15 minutes a night thing, which is what I really should do. I think I would like it better. So, I bought some pre-dyed, ready-to-go roving. This has Firestar in it, so it's shiny. I'm trying not to make too much things. Sorry, guys. It's really purple. It's really gorgeous. It's Ohio Valley Natural Fiber. It's 192 grams merino wool with Firestar in it. I'm going to do a 3-ply, about a DK weight. There would have been more in here, but I traded some of mine for one of my friends. Actually got navy from her. Same everything, just differently dyed. So, but I was really going to ply a skein out, but I think I'm just going to spin this as a 3-ply. which I'm pretty dang excited about. But because I've been using all my bobbins for everything, I'll have to spin off some stuff before I can start doing this one. So it's okay. I need to get some stuff done. The next thing I'll be spinning is this right here. I did a bat club by Phoenix Fiber Company a couple of times. The first time I did it, I was gifted it by someone. And the second time I did it is because these bats are stinking gorgeous and they're really easy to spin. And they're just 2 ounces, so the fiber club itself isn't very expensive, and she does a percentage off if you've already done it once. So, or she gives you a coupon code. You have to remember to use it. So this is the Twilight and Waves 57 grams, Phoenix Fiber Company. And, I mean, her bats are just gorgeous. They're really well blended. I mean, they're not too blended. They still have some different colors in there. But, like, they're not knotted. There's not weird stuff in there. Everything just spins like it's supposed to spin. That being said, I also bought some Hello Pearl bats that are going to be part of this. This is Egyptian Soil. It's a fiber art bat. It's got all sorts of weird stuff in it. The last one I spun from her, I had to throw out chunks of stuff. Which, I mean, it's an art bat, so I don't mind that. I know what I'm getting into. And I really like the way her stuff spins up. But sometimes she does put stuff in there that's just a calamity. And I kind of enjoy it, but not when I'm doing it for an owl. And I should have thought about that, but I didn't. Trying to show you what's on the inside. So this is the inside of it. It's not quite, it was, before there was threads in it, and the threads had gotten knotted. I don't see anything like that this time. In fact, this looks gorgeous, right? So this is what I'll be spinning up. This is going to be 1 bobbin, like I was doing before. The second one, I'll be spinning each of these fiber tails. This is also from the same fiber festival as the first thing. The Phoenix Fiber Company bat was from what? This was a club. So I'm going to spin each of these tails separately. So I'll spin a bobbin up with this, and I'll apply off however much of that onto one of these, and that'll be a skein of yarn. And I'll do the same with this one, and I'll do the same with this one, which I think is going to be really fun. So I'll have 3 skeins of yarn with mysterious, you know, it'll be different. Each one will be the same, but with a different main color. Not mysterious, I'm not sure why I said mysterious, but with a different main color. So I'm excited to see how that works out. These were just for sale. They weigh a total of 95 grams. This art bat weighed a total of 4.5 ounces. So there'll be some left over somewhere. But I'm okay with that. The next thing I'm going to do, as before, I'm going to spin up this totally stunning Monster Mash fiber from Supernatural Yarns. I actually won this forever ago. It's BFL. I really want to spin it. I don't know why I haven't, kind of a thing. There's a lot of purple and teal in here. I'm just kind of seeing that. That's okay. I'm going to fractal spin this. I fractal spun before, and I loved it. I did it with the rainbow. That was cool. A bit too much. It was really intense. With some more similar colors and repeating patterns, that's going to be nicer, because the rainbow itself was just one rainbow, and then a bunch of miniature rainbows slapped on it. So that was a little much for me. The last thing I'm doing is from Alpaca Fiber Solutions. This is also from that same fiber festival. It is bamboo. It says it's 4 ounces of cone top. Paint by Rue. It's really small, right? It's really small. Hold on, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to lower the volume. It's really, really slick. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It may just be bamboo. Because it does say bamboo in great big long huge letters. So maybe it's just 100% bamboo. The card itself isn't very helpful, except to tell me that it was $15. So I'll be spinning this just as a 2-ply, if I can spin it. So we'll see. The person who was checking my owl and saying I was allowed to do it was like, listen, this looks like you're doing something really hard. Do you want to like trade some of these out for something simpler? And I was like, if I need to, I will, because you have a chance to do that for a while. But we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how it goes. So anyway, that's going to be my owl. I will change this up here now that I've told you guys that I totally failed. And I think that is everything. So whether you're spinning on old projects or new, I'll knit or spin with you. Bye guys.